Welcome back. President Trump is urging the Iranian military and police force to lay down their weapons and help the people of Iran take their country back. Watch this.
And I'm once again calling on all members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the military and the police, to lay down their arms. They're only going to be killed. And now is the time to stand up for the Iranian people and help take back your country. You're going to have a chance after all these years to take back your country. We'll give you immunity, and we'll be giving you really the right side of history, because that's what it is.
Joining me now is Middle East Institute Associate Fellow Nazee Moinian. Nazee, thanks very much for being here. Your reaction, what are your thoughts on this conflict this morning?
Good morning, Maria, and thank you for having me. You know, thoughts raced through my head ever since Operation Epic Fury started. But on point about President Trump asking the IRGC and the police to lay down their arms, that's a pivotal moment. That's a game changer. I remember the Islamic Revolution of 1979 at the exact moment when this happened, and the army at the time, we didn't have an IRGC, refused to shoot on people. And people in turn took to the streets and put a red carnation in the pipe or in the barrel of their guns, and that's meant to us, watching this scenario unfold, that the Islamic Revolution had won.
The president is demanding to be involved in choosing Iran's next leader. He told Axios, quote, "They are wasting their time." Ali Khamenei's son is a lightweight, the president said. "I have to be involved in appointment. Khamenei's son is unacceptable to me. We want someone that will bring harmony and peace to Iran." I want to get your take on who you believe the people want to run Iran. I, of course, spoke with the former Crown Prince, Reza Pahlavi, on Sunday. Watch this.
In this campaign is this time something not just to set back the Iranian nuclear program or anything like that. This is like full decapitation of the regime, and ultimately what will expedite its total collapse. As soon as the transition plan is put into gear, we want to make sure that we address the issue immediately, to make sure that we have the ability to have a stable process, to obviously lead to ultimately a democratic outcome, so the Iranian people get to choose their future government and system. We have the most diverse coalition of people dedicated to that process, representing different parts of the country, including religious minorities, ethnic groups that are all aligned in this national project that we have. From the time that we start until the day we can have the final referendum, I anticipate a period that should not be longer than a couple of years at the most. But what's critical is the first 100 days to immediately stabilize the country.
Nazee, what do you think the people want? Where are the Iranian people? Do you believe that they would want the former Crown Prince, or do they feel that they are afraid to go back to a monarchy, which, of course, was the case with his father? I know you have this op-ed on Fox News saying that Iranians shifted from disbelief to jubilation when the supreme leader, yes, Ayatollah, was killed.
Yes, yes. So I want to answer that in a two-pronged manner. First of all, I have learned that when President Trump speaks, I read the tea leaves. I mean, I know what he means in that manner. When he says he wants to have a say-so in the picking of the next Iranian leader, he's also signaling to the Iranian people, get your act together. If you want someone, bring him forward. If it's the Crown Prince, bring him forward. You know, show your support. And you know, I know you know him very well. He's been on your program many times, and I listen to him intently, and he has my respect. Listen, he's a prince without a scandal. He has led a wonderful life, raised 3 wonderful children, made amazing connections here in America and across Europe. He has stepped up at the right time to lead these people into a transition. He's not asking for a monarchy. Neither are the people, by the way. You know, they're asking for him to come back because he is the symbol of the continuity of the glorious Iran, of the kingship that elevated Iran to the eyes of the world. He has said all the right things. I would give him a chance. You know, no one else has come forward. And he's the only name, Maria, that's being chanted on the streets of Iran.
I just want to point out that in the Financial Times this morning, the energy minister of Qatar The Qatari energy minister is warning that war in the Middle East could, quote, bring down the economies of the world, predicting that all Gulf energy exporters would shut down production within weeks and drive oil to $150 a barrel. This is in the Financial Times this morning. Nazee, thank you for weighing in. Nazee Moinian joining us this morning. We'll be right back.